Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Now, after watching The Godfather of Harlem, where Forrest Whitaker is playing Bumpy Johnson, and they're reenacting what took place in that particular time period with Malcolm, Nation of Islam, Bumpy Johnson, Adam Clayton Powell, trying to get legislations passed as far as civil rights and the whole nine. But that is just a precursor to what we're facing today. Civil rights. Well, I mean, you don't have to ask anyone, and no one is obligated to treat you civil. Now, human rights is different, but you're dealing with a situation to where it should be just common human nature. Look, you treat me civilly, and I'll treat you civilly or civilized. You treat me uncivilized, I'll treat you uncivilized. That's but it wasn't about. It's never been about civil rights. It's always been about the aggressive racist cop, the system that bags that racist cop, and a judge that lets that racist cop walk. That's the issue. How do we deal with that issue? Because it hasn't went away. Now, black people as a whole, we all in the same sandbox. And that sandbox is split up into thirds, even though it has four corners. You have, when I say a third, meaning of control, what you call street or gangster mentality controls control the third of it. The Christian community control the third of it. And then the conscious community control the third of it, meaning the activists, the Panthers, the Muslims, the Pan-Africanists, they got a third. Christians have a third, and the gangsters or street mind has a third. And all of them deal with this particular situation with the system, the over-policing, and the judges that lets them walk, right? All of them have a different way of dealing with that situation. Now, the Christian, they'll say, well, we need to gather at the church, we need to pray about it, right? We need to march, and we need to be nonviolent, right? Because we will conquer them with our love. Now, the conscious community will say, well, we studied his history, and we studied the nature of him, and we know that has no effect on him. That's why it's been going on and continue to go on. Right? They say, well, what's your solution? Well, don't be the aggressor, but fight with those who fight with you. You free. Now, you want to go to heaven? You got to die to get there. Now the street mind, gangster mind is, look, we got these weapons. Let's just roll up on them. Right? Which is not wise, because after you run out of bullets, they're not going to see you no more. Right? You don't have the firepower to fight against their weapons. Right? So it may work for a brief moment, but after that, then what? Right? So you got all these different mindsets in the same sandbox, right? Trying to tackle a age-old problem, right? Now, the goal is, and the purpose of this show is, how can we work together amongst the three different factions? How can the gangster street mentality or minded core group work with the Christian, the black Christian mindset? And how can the gangster mind work with the conscious community? And to where you do what you do, you do what you do, and you do what you do, but what's the common denominator that will benefit the whole? Because I'm learning and I'm seeing this is 2021 and neither faction is going away. You're not going to get rid of the black Christians. They're going to be here. You're not going to get rid of the streets. The streets is going to be here. And you're not going to get rid of the conscious community. It's going to be here. Right? When I say conscious community, I'm talking about the Moors. I'm talking about the Pan-Africanists. I'm talking about the Panthers. I'm talking about the RBGs. I'm talking about the NOI. The conscious community. Going to be here to stay. The motto, conscious community, do for self, own land, build up your economics, protect your women and your children, close-knit community, right? The Christian community is is not difficult to explain, but it has a lot of pain in it, and I'll explain myself. It's 2021, but yet the pain of slavery is still harnessed within old traditional Christian customs, and I'm talking about black Christians, right? Because the Christianity that black people hold on to or follow is the Christianity that they were taught during slavery and had to interpret the Bible in a way that benefits the black church, because the white Christian church wouldn't allow the congregations to mix. Here's one Bible, but blacks, you go over there and read that Bible, and whites will be over here with the same Bible, but we should, even to this day, we don't mix, right? And so now, I'm not going to even go. I'm gonna go into it. Okay, only churches that they don't mix. I don't care what it is. But if it's a white church, the majority of the church will be white, and you have a sprinkle of blacks within the audience. But the most time, those churches that have that has that mixture is when the preacher is teaching more on prosperity, and he's using the Bible as a context to get the message across. Okay. But when I'm talking about that down home, deep, southern, catch the Holy Ghost church, is separate. All right. And that white Anglican church is separate. They don't want blacks allowed, especially in the South, right? So the mentality of the black church, one, it stemmed out of safety, as far as, hey, trouble was arising during, racial times, as far as the from the 1600s all the way up to till today. Incidents that would take place, we gather in the church, and they talk about it. It's been going on even all the way to George Floyd, right? But the thing about it was the church was they solely separated the conscious community from the process, meaning that they tried to silence the ideology of the conscious community. They didn't want it preached from their pulpit, right? So there's a separation there, right? Now, the church didn't mind the streets to come into the fold as long as, the tithe. They pay the tithe because money is money. We back in economics. They'll take the money. Look here, I go through the church, I drop some money on the pastor, I need something done, okay, bada bing, bada boom. Conscious community is more meeting the people where they're at. Meaning, if you in the streets, we'll meet on the streets and we'll deal. Or look, this kid needs some protecting. This kid has a bright future. Make sure he don't get caught up in this street life, and because he will be something valuable to our community. Make sure you all look out for this youngster. Right. And let's leave it at that. And make sure your business don't cross over into our business of what we doing with the people. And understand it. But what I'm trying to say is, how can we find a common denominator to where all three factions can deal with each other, support each other, and build with one another? Because nobody's going nowhere. You're not going to get rid of the streets. You're not going to get rid of the conscious community, and you're not going to get rid of the black church. Right. I got an idea. Say the conscious community opens up a restaurant or business, I don't care what type of business, within the community, right? Then 2 days out the week, everybody's going patronizing that conscious community's business, right? The church and the streets. In there, doing business with each other. Christian open up a business, everybody from the conscious community and the streets in that business. Streets open up a business. I don't care if it's a nightclub that's hosting a show. You listen to the radio. Yeah, I know it's gonna be smackahol in there, and it's gonna be half naked women in there. Go see the concert. Be out of there by 11 p.m. Or offer to help promote it or something, because it's not going nowhere, right? Something, meaning we all have to come to some sort of common denominator or a page that we all are on in order to handle an age-old problem. We too disunified, right? And we're disunified by ideology, by what we believe. But that's just a belief system. The belief system is not putting. You can't go to the bank and cash in your belief. No, that's your business. That's your business. That's your belief system. Okay, but the overall picture is, how can we unify without egos getting in the way, without we don't deal with you, and we don't deal with you, and we don't deal with you, and look, my Jesus is white, and I'm gonna put him in front of my church, and how dare you tell me to take him down? Okay, keep your white Jesus up in your church. We ain't even dealing with that. That's your business, right? We trying to say, can we build something together for the community, right? Uh, look, I'm not doing business with with this group because all of them pants is sagging. Damn that. That's their business. Uh, what can you put in to the pot to make it better for the community? And just deal on that wise, right? Yeah. I don't deal with the conscious community because they put black first when this a melting pot and everybody is everybody. Damn that. Let them put black first. The bigger question is, what can you add to the pot that can make the community a better place? Right? And if not, okay, so let's say, and this is the worst case scenario, right? What if we can't get along? What if we can't unite? What if our principles are so strong that they won't even allow us to unite and unify? Okay, that's fine. But then why don't each section go off and own 3 or 4 blocks and put some profit back into the community? Then let's do that. Put your money where your mouth is. Because I hate to say it, the streets doing it. Streets owning, opening up restaurants, clubs, and moving. So, country community got to do the same. Christian community got to do the same. I mean, it's something, you got to have something more than just a church and a mosque. Got to have something more than just a church and a temple. Got to have something more than a tabernacle. You know what I mean? In a lodge. You know. Yeah, oh yeah, you gotta have something more than a place where people could come give you a donation. Take that donation bill and open up a fruit stand, hell, open up a business, do something. Because it's, and the reason why I'm saying that is, the longer it takes to unify and build something that the people can actually see and touch, the longer that happens, the worse the community and the situation gets. Right? Stop, and if you are doing something, I don't know, man. It's funny. I mean, stop being so private. But if you are doing something with this internet, you got so much social media and internet, and the word is still not reaching the ears of the masses. It's wild, I remember before the internet, when Minister Farrakhan came to Houston and 35,000 showed up, right? And there was no internet and social media and Facebook and Instagram and all that. But some kind of way, that word of mouth traveled so much and so far to where it was just grabbing people from all over the city and gathering them at one location for one event. What that energy, what happened to that? I don't know. I'm just saying we need to, and at this particular time, with what's going on in the world, with all these natural disasters, it's like we gotta wake up and find a way to unify. And the reason being is because, I'm talking about the elders in the conscious community, the elders in the church, and the OGs in the streets can sit down at a table where everyone looks everyone in the eye without judgment and think that they better than the next one, or their ego's so high to where they think that they're better than the person that's sitting across the table from them. we got to get to some humility, because at the end of the day, the situation ain't getting no better with all the ego that you have. Right. Because now it's becoming a white noise, just rhetoric. You know what you got, because the people see the youth, the youth will follow what they see, because they know that it's beneficial. Meaning the youth, if they see black owned businesses, you got the doctor's office over here, dentist over here, grocery store right here, restaurant right there, auto mechanic shop over here, car detailing over here, clothing store over here, nutritional food sold here, right? And they sell, and once they put that impression on that young mind, that's all they know. You know, all they know is black-owned businesses, and the one that tended to their wounds when they was hurt was a black doctor. So they know that black doctor brings comfort. They know that black dentist fix teeth, right? They know this black grocery store provides substance and nutrition, right? They know, hell, when my parents' car broke, they got that car fixed that same day, and they was able to make it to work to make some money to take care of that child. Community, right? But everybody bickering over, look what I got. Now look what I got. Now look what I got, right? In the streets, man, I got this. I got the new drop top Porsche. The Christian community. That ain't nothing. I just bought me a new helicopter. You know what I mean? I'm rolling. The conscious community. That ain't nothing. I tell, man, I showed up in a limo with so and so. It's like, man, what about the people, man? Now, the people have to do whatever they have to read and learn, because knowledge. You got to have knowledge on how to defeat those who want to present obstacles in front of you to stop your rise. You have to, because knowledge gives you a vision, meaning knowledge gives you intuition to where you can see further down the road. You can sense something. But without knowledge, they sneak right up on you and you wouldn't know it. You didn't even see it coming. Got to play it again, is what I'm saying. Knowledge, man, you got to read, man. You cannot get around reading. I don't care who you are. You got to read, right? So you can, so that knowledge can, so you can be a reflection of the knowledge that you learn. Okay. So, unity. I mean, we've been talking, man, how long we been talking about black folk need to unify? UNITY, made songs about it. Wow, man, black on black crime. It's like, okay, it's like a setup. It's almost like the enemy will go to an individual black man, and the enemy go to him and say, I know you committed this crime, but we willing to let you off, right? As long as you promise that all the crimes you commit would just be amongst black people in your community. And you could go. right? Seems like they making these kind of deals because, you got young black men that all they do is hunt out black men to rob, catch them slipping, shooting. It's like, where'd you get that from? That's not nothing native to us as a people. Who taught you? Where'd you get it from? Right? And the sad part about it is there's no one there to check that individual when they first seen signs of their warped behavior. No one was like, hey, no, come here, I gotta punish you. You don't act like that. You don't do that, right? Nobody was around, right? So the authority figure becomes the father. Every time they get in trouble to go downtown, so the authority figure can punish them, so they can feel human, right? Discipline starts from when a child is born. You born under a universal law. You disciplined to that universal law. So if nobody's there in the home to discipline, then your Uncle Sam gonna discipline you. All right? Uncle Sam, will give you a false sense of love. Hey, we got money. We got a little money for you. We got some food stamps. We got something for you. We'll put some money in your pocket just as long as that black man ain't in the house. If your son get out of line, don't worry about it. Just call us and we'll spank him. We'll lock him up and give him a record. Beat him up and send him home as a juvenile. And if he creates another offense, then we'll beat him up again and lock him away a little longer. That's tough love. We only doing it because we love our black people. Come on, man. Wow. But now credit to those now. Okay, because we got to do both parts, right? Now, much love and much credit to the black mothers and fathers who created a well-disciplined and structured life for their children, who didn't get involved in a lot of the chaos, right? Who worked 2 jobs or who fought like hell to make sure that their children had a good education, lived in a good neighborhood, went to what they call a good school, but meaning did whatever they had to do to give their children an advantage and an edge on life, who didn't sit back and just drop their children in the system's hand. The black people who didn't want to play the victim role. I'm talking about those black people. The black folks who didn't want to. I don't want to be. Didn't want to. Look here, I got a mind. You know what I'm saying? I figured out for me and my family. Don't worry about it. We'll work 2 jobs, 3, whatever it take. We're gonna keep our pride and our dignity. You ain't finna get me caught up in the game, right? Shout out to those, to the black people that had that mindset. You got to give them credit. We don't talk. You know what? We don't talk about the successful black people enough. We always talk about those who got caught up in the system. But I think, you know what I think? I think if you talk about and highlight success, it'll make everybody want to participate in that success because they see that it can be done. And then you teach them and tell them what you done in order to gain your success, so they can follow in your footsteps and pull your own self up. Showing them the methodology, the science on how to achieve, and have the community focus more on success than focusing on unsuccess. Have the schools, have the teachers praise the ones that's getting the honor roll instead of spending more time with the ones that getting the F's. Have the ones that get the A's and B's or whatever tutor the ones that's making F's, or show the ones that's making F's how to get the A. Highlight the achievers, and then make everybody feel like they can achieve. Don't be making the ones that's doing bad like you got some sympathy. You giving them wrong attention. That old sympathy attention, that's slave attention. You know, you say, look, man, you can do this work. Ain't nobody playing with you. Don't, what's going on? You okay? We go. I'll let you just weakening the person. It never work. You know, and that's another thing, man. That's so much, you know. Another thing is find out what works and what haven't worked over years. If this voting and hoping white folk will be your friends and treat you as an equal, if it ain't worked by now, let it go. Just let it go. It don't work. You tried. You ran a good race, right? You ran a good race because it's getting to a point where it's becoming you begging now. You begging the people to treat you and do for you what you can do for yourself. Wake up and do it for yourself. Stop begging them people. They show you over and over again that we don't like you. Right, okay, cool. So when that happens, you collect your coins and your people, and y'all start off building something for yourself and watch it grow. If you build it, they'll come. And keep growing and keep going. Pretty soon here, they'll be knocking at your door asking if they can get in. It's been done before. Look at Black Wall Street. Doing it, didn't need them doing it, building, right? Till they had to tear it down, which was a mistake. We didn't have an army. We didn't have a standing army to go to war and fight tooth and nail. Needed something to shoot down them planes in the sky that's dropping bombs on this little black town in America. You know, we didn't have the weaponry because fighting back wasn't put at the forefront of our mind, right? That's why when you go to these little Middle Eastern countries and there's wars going on and you see them people out there like, look, this is our belief, this is what we stand for, let's go. You know, we ready to roll. You know what I mean? And let's put it together. So that's what needs to happen. You know, that's the mentality that we need to have. You know, that's what we got to build on. So hopefully we getting close. Hopefully we can make that happen. But on the way out, this is Verbal Pick Radio. I'm reminding you all, check out the movie Black's Journey on FlexNet TV or vcmfilms.gumroad.com. That's Gumroad is GUMROAD. vcmfilms.gumroad.com. They was playing a trailer on Street Flavor, D Solo's show on March 20. Man, I appreciate that. And we gonna keep on rolling right here. Verbal Pick Radio. We are.